So we're currently in the archives of the Hamilton Museum of Steam and Technology. We have a number of records related to a number of different industries here in Hamilton in this space, but we also have the museum's artwork collection. And a couple of the most important pieces from that collection are these two here. These are paintings done by a man named John Caddy. And he was a landscape painter from the 1850s and 1860s, living around this area in Hamilton. He was commissioned by Adam Brown, who was the chairman of the Hamilton Board of Water. And he was commissioned to paint things related to water that were part of Adam Brown's career. So Adam Brown was the man ultimately responsible for the waterworks here, which is now the Hamilton Museum of Steam and Technology, being built. He didn't want to be paid for his efforts, but he was actually forced to take $5 in payment. So he used that money to commission art from John Caddy of basically his accomplishments. So these two paintings are two in the collection from John Caddy that relate to things that Adam Brown did. So the first one is actually the pump house itself. So you can see the pump house here. It's very rural, very isolated from the city of Hamilton, very different from what it is today. Today it's surrounded by residential and industrial settlements. Back then it was very much out in the countryside. You can also see that the bay, like the Lake Ontario, was very marshy, lots of little inlets and stuff like that. So you can see it's quite different from how it is now. The second painting is also important to us, and this is of the reservoir. So it was called the Barton Reservoir, but it's now located where Kenilworth Access is. It was an open reservoir, and it's part of the system that we don't interpret here on site because it's about 5 kilometers away and about 190 feet further up the escarpment. But Caddy was commissioned to paint that for Adam Brown as well. You can also see how far out of Hamilton it was. So Hamilton is way over here, but you can see it's all farmland in between the reservoir and Hamilton. So very much an isolated site at the time. Adam Brown kept these paintings in payment for his work, and then later on descendants of his donated them back to the museum, so we're very lucky to have the original paintings. The third one, by the way, if anybody's curious, there were 3, is of the Burlington Bay Canal.